the society we live in, do you think it's okay for men to actually share what they are going through? I know men are very egotistic when it comes to how we want to be perceived. Do you think it's something one should consider when sharing? I saw some stats from Priority Group. It was talking about 75 to 80% of registered suicide deaths have been men, mostly.
Wow. 75%.
Yeah. So that's a crazy number when it comes to suicide deaths that have been, mostly registered for just men.
I wasn't brought up to share things. I was brought up to as a man, you gotta be strong. In the start of the year, just things started going downhill. Though I lost my dad in February, and I was in that place where I don't know. I got 4 kids. I'm the only one working, and my lovely wife, she's doing her best to manage the house, taking care of the kids, doing But I was just in a place where I was just like, this is a lot, As for a man, I have to be be responsible, for literally 5 people. I think losing my dad, I didn't understand, that it was going to affect me that much because I wasn't so close to him, but it did affect me. And I was in that silent mode where I didn't want to do anything, just wanted to be in bed. And lucky for me, I have, people like you guys just to be able to talk to, and, you guys came to my house to encourage me, and
we ended up eating food and playing FIFA.
Yeah.
Because people, men in general, can pretty much by default just want to bottle up because it's easier when people don't know your business,
hear that.
And you also have this thing in your mind, like this preconceived thing, like, oh, if they know me, then they would judge me, So, I mean, a lot of us deal with the whole, I know at some point I dealt with the whole idea of somebody judging me, but which would obviously affect if I'm going through something and I need to share with people closer to me. Even with my own family, I would hide some things back, previously. So yeah, I think the society we're living in, it can be tricky and it can be hard for men to want to just easily open up to people, especially if you don't really know the person well.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think, as you were talking, I was thinking in my head, I don't think we were designed to live in isolation. I think isolation is a huge killer.
Hello, hi guys.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of the podcast.
Yes.
Episode 3, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's go. Look, I can't believe we go up to episode 3,
I know. There's been so many ups and downs, but
Yeah.
we're here. That's the most important thing. But how are you guys doing?
I've had a serious randomness with my leg. I'm not so sure what's going on. So, I don't know. I think it was Wednesday. I was at work and I stood up to go get water and I was like, what is this? I couldn't walk. I was like, what's going on? Well, anyway, cut long story short, I came home and then obviously man was a bit like, can't bear the pain. What do you have to do? I actually said to my missus, this is actually comparable to pregnancy. But she didn't, no, but that pain,
You're
that
setting
pain.
yourself up there.
Yeah, maybe that's another thing we can talk about people's pain tolerance. But thankfully, my leg this week is getting better and everything is all good.
So are we seeing you at pickleball?
Not this Thursday.
Oh,
Not this Thursday. I'll give it like another week.
Fair enough. Then, Joe, how are you?
Yeah, my day or week has been interesting. Just going back to work because last week I've been on a training, so been back to work and it's been different. I think I'm starting to see the difference between working night and working day. So other than that, on the weekend I was chilling with my kid. We were doing some planting, doing our lawn.
Nice.
Yeah, just planting some edges and some plants. So that was really, really good fun. And I got them some trampoline. And
would love that.
yeah, so there was a lot of bouncing going on and they really enjoyed it. So yeah.
Do you know what I would love to see?
What?
I'd love to see this guy digging his hand into his soil, like trying to dig the plants and planting things in there.
what are you talking about?
No, this guy.
Oh, him. Okay, okay.
Actually, now that you said it, even you as well.
You know, I hate my.
Why?
Huh?
Why don't you see me digs into a plant?
Bro, you don't look like someone doing gardening work. Honestly, bro.
To be honest, I haven't seen you.
Well, have you seen? I did it. I did it
That's
all by
good.
myself. Yeah,
that's good.
I started like about 9. I finished about 4 o'clock. But
That's commendable.
it was a
That's
proper.
commendable.
It's a proper shift. Yeah, I feel the people that do gardening, fair play.
Yeah.
It's you know, but it's good.
It's hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, hard work, but also like therapeutic. When you see like obviously you're digging, you know, I was putting on the soil, putting like some stuff to grow, and seeing the plants are growing, and even my kids enjoyed it as well. They,
Wow.
They're like, yeah, we need to water that in the morning. We need to, during the night, and make sure it's good, and it looks good.
That's nice, man.
That's
really cool.
That's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually leads me to something I was thinking during the week. To be honest, I was going through something during the week. Not to go too deep at the moment, but maybe during the conversation we can delve into it. But it got me thinking. I'm going through this thing, and would it be a good thing to share with the guys during tennis? And that further made me think about how men share things these days. The society we live in. Do you think it's okay for men to actually share what they are going through?
Oh, that's a good question, man.
That's an amazing question.
Yeah.
I mean, with other men. Obviously, you share with your
Yeah.
family, but with other men, do you think
I think
it's
even
okay?
two of that. Two of that, because I mean, the default for man is to obviously be the strong person, both physically and emotionally. I mean, it's not the same for every man physically wise, but I know I'm physically more than this guy. But anyway, well, that's the topic for
There
another
they go
discussion. No, but
Andres for time.
yeah, I think the society we live in, it's a tricky one, because men in general can pretty much by default just want to bottle up, because it's easier when people don't know your business, you know?
I hear that.
And you also have this thing in your mind, like this preconceived thing, like, oh, if they know me, then they would judge me, you know? So, I mean, a lot of us deal with I knew at some point I dealt with the whole idea of like somebody judging me, you know? Like, but which would obviously affect if I'm going through something I need to share with people closer to me. Even with my own family, I would hide some things back, like previously. So yeah, I think the society we're living in, it can be tricky, and it can be hard for men to want to just easily open up to people, especially if you don't really know the person well.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
Yeah, I could tend to agree to what I'm gonna say regarding that, because for me, I wasn't brought up to share things. I was brought up to, like, as a man, you gotta be strong. You cannot, you can't show vulnerability. You cannot, you gotta always be, no matter what you're going through, you have to keep it in there. You have to just soldier on, you know. But as I've gone older, to adulthood, I'm like, where sometimes it's good. Sometimes, it's a saying that says, "I've a problem shared is I've solved of something."
It's a problem halved.
It's a problem halved, yeah. So I think for me, I think it's, maybe depending on who you share it to. I think, some people are not capable or understand.
Oh yeah, true.
What you're going through, or so you have to, say maybe pick your bar, or who, people, because you have that enclosed cycles of people where you can share, like deep stuff with, but because if not, you'll be misunderstood, understood, or people will judge you, or put you down, and then that's probably the reason why. Or so my uncle be like, get up, what are you talking about? So I think having those people in your life that you can actually understand, and then it takes time to build that trust or things. So I think having those people in your life to share. So I think if you do have those kind of people in your life, don't see any problem in you sharing what you're going through.
Yeah, and I think if you even think about it, right, imagine yourself feeling like you don't want to share things, and people will know too much, they will judge you. And then because of that mindset, now someone else came to dump their problems on you. Automatically, you're like, now I know your problem.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
so like, not everyone is able to like emotionally connect with I guess what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes it could be a bit like, actually, if I tell you this thing, are you able to sort of like understand what, like, really understand and just listen? And sometimes people don't even want you to give them solutions as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting one.
It's really interesting. From my angle, I think I see where you guys are coming from in terms of being careful with who you sort of share with. That's what you're really talking about, and also the most important thing is who are you sharing with.
Yeah.
But if you find the right community of people to share with, then it's okay to do that, right?
Yes, yeah, I think
I
so.
know I've heard this saying, I can't remember where I heard it. If you live in a community of fools, you would act like a fool.
Yeah.
But if you have two friends who are fools, just know that they're actually three, because obviously that person is the third one.
Yeah.
So I actually understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And okay, let's paint this scenario, right? You've got this community of wise people that you can actually share with. Do you think there are limits to what you should be able to share, or it's a thing of let's go all out, let's share this?
Well, I think
Are there limits to it?
yeah, I think if again it depends on how you study the people, that community around you, because I think there's always going to be a limit in some aspect, because because you could have these people that understands you have a conversation, but they might not understand that situation. And I think based on what I said before, I think is that comes from your it's because I've been one of those people that I like to share a lot, when I've been also been feel battered in a way whereby I showed to the wrong person or the wrong product, and I'm feeling really done about it. Like, okay, now they seem in a different order. They're judging me for it, even though they don't mean it that way.
Yeah.
People. I think sometimes you just start looking at you, that person differently, or not because you plan to do that, but because you just, oh wow, okay, he's going through that, okay. So I think that there has to be a limit, in my own opinion. Like, even though you have people that you're close to, because if you have a small circle, it's like an onion. Like a small circle you can dip everything with. We have other people like, okay, I can share this with them. They have their wise, good opinions, but so you just have that kind of thing where you just being wise what you share with people. So I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think wisdom definitely will have to play a part there, because I mean, say you have someone as a friend that can't even control their words. Like, let's say you're planning for a surprise trip with your wife, like something that she would never imagine. Think of the best place you want to take her to the Maldives, and you've been planning this. You already know how you're gonna surprise her, and you're feeling good thinking about how she's gonna realize oh wow, this is gonna be good. And then you share it to someone that has a loud mouth, that has a loud mouth, that can oh yeah, this is happening. You're like, whoa. I mean, then you start thinking oh snap, I gotta be mindful who I'm sharing this with, because share this with the wrong person, even though you give them a warning saying, look, you can't really say it, but then it just blurts out because they can't control they can't control what comes out of their mouths. You just end up crying. But I think it's the same elements of that, in terms of depending on what the stuff you're about to share, you're very mindful and selective of who you actually go and tell. It's not like you're not friends with the person who is loudmouth. It's just oh, your friendship is different in a way. So you know, if there's something like this that's utmost important for you, you wouldn't go and say it to the one that has a track record of just blurting out surprises to people, or giving spoiler alerts to movies or something like that. You can't really trust people doing spoiler alerts to movies. But it's stuff like that. I think it goes back to the wisdom thing. You got to be able to be wise in how you sort of navigate this kind of situation. That's how I see it.
And just to add to what Shagun was saying, I think just thinking about your question, I was just thinking about, wow, maybe this is one of the reasons why we don't share, because maybe we were thinking might be judged. So I was just thinking about it in my head, like, okay. I think the most important thing is just having that wisdom to who you share to, because some people, it doesn't have their heart, and if you got, maybe you got to guard your own heart.
Yeah.
So I think you have to just apply wisdom to, because I think as men we need to share more. I'm not saying you shouldn't share. I think as men we need to, because men we don't open up, because I can speak for myself, for example.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of stuff, and I'm like, because I wasn't brought up to like be vulnerable or to share. So I'm learning as I get older now, because we all go through stuff in life.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good when you have people in your life where you can actually pick up that call, say, oh, bro, I know they do good though. But you just share stuff, or might be in your relationship, in your marriage, just where people we can rub up of each other, because it says iron sharpen iron, innit?
Yeah.
So where you can rub up of each other and be able to have a conversation and help each other to grow, wherever you're going through. So I think I think it's good to share, but you also have to be wise when you're sharing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like with everything in life, there should be moderation.
Correct.
Knowing
Yeah.
what is suitable to be shared. Like you gave the example with an onion. There are different levels to which people can. It's not only you're not doing it just for yourself. You're also doing it for the people sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they might not be able to handle that kind of
Yeah.
information. So, for instance, if you go and do obviously, I know we would not do criminal stuff, but imagine someone does something.
Speak for yourself, bro. I mean, no criminal stuff.
So,
criminal stuff.
The thing is, you don't want to incriminate another person.
Correct, yeah.
That person knowing it, you're putting something on that person that
I see.
person shouldn't even be handling in the first place.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, I absolutely agree. When sharing, one should share, within reason, and also understand the person you're also sharing with. That's really important.
Yeah.
So it also boils down to perception. I know men are very egotistic when it comes to how we want to be perceived. Do you think it's something one should consider when sharing? Oh, this person sees me in a certain light now. If I share this, how would this person perceive me now? Is that something that is really...
Yeah.
Is that something that should limit the way people should also share?
Yeah, I think, wow, yeah, that's good. Do you know what? I think today, I think I experienced a little bit of that. Like there is, when you as men, when you're walking and you just see someone like, oh, you do that little nod. Like, you don't really know deeply, but that little nod is like a proper respect thing. And then every single time it's just a nod, you shake. Like, it's like, I don't know his story. He doesn't know my story. In his head, I'm probably at a certain level. And in my head, it's probably at a certain level.
Yeah.
But that thing breaks the moment we start having beers together, or maybe just go for a sport together, start talking. And then you realize that wall that was being built up with a simple head nod is like, it's all broken up. And you realize, oh my goodness, it's like a regular human. It's like a regular man going through regular troubles.
Exactly.
And I was just thinking to myself how important that is to be able to share with, not like sharing like in a very like nonsensical way, like, but it's you know what? There are deep things men go through, and one of the things that really caught my eyes when we moved to this area, there's this sign in that I don't know if you guys will see. It talks about if men needs to talk or men talk.
Yeah.
Men talk. And I was like, wow, that's so good. I've always wanted to go there just to really get a feel of what that looks like of men just talking and sharing. It's literally in the area. I don't know if you've seen it as well.
Remember, because I'm part of a group.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a different one. We play football.
Yeah, I think this
I
was
think
Men
that's different.
Talk Health.
No, Men
like
Talk Health. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I've seen
So
these
I think
signboards.
it's like in a day during the week, I think they will meet up as men and they will just talk. They will just share. They will just like share their struggles and what's going on. And I think, bro, do you know how much anxiety that takes away?
Yeah,
like
because one of the group I'm part of, like everywhere before we play football, they will ask us between 1 and 10, how are you doing? So if you say like 5 or 6, and you share what's
Yeah.
wherever you're going to, if you say, oh, it's, because you see like
That's
grown
nice.
men, like, you know, like about 10 people, 12 people, we'll have like a circle, like we'll all go around, say your name, and say, oh, between 1 to 10, 1 is your lowest, 10 is
Yeah.
higher. So if you, and I've seen what for some men are sharing, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
just people, you know, having a conversation and you just encourage them, like just to see that people like talking,
Yeah.
and you see them, oh, I'm 4, I've lost my job, stuff
Wow.
like that, and then
Wow.
like, wow,
stuff.
deep stuff. You saw what I'm saying, like, you know, and I think
Wow.
it's good, yeah.
And I also think, do you know that thing you said about perception? I think that's so, sometimes we do those problems to ourselves because instead of us actually wanting to get to know someone, we just live based on the perception we have in our head.
Yeah.
And we're not like, do you know what? Let me actually get to know you. Do you know? Let me treat you like an actual human being. You know, like some courtesy. Like, hey man, how's it going, man? Oh wow, this that whatever the situation is that you guys obviously do together. Find out like commonality where you can start to like just be honest and be real. Like, I mean, I just thought about a story that happened one time for me. I think, yeah, I can't remember what the situation was. What I need, yeah, I think it was when we're looking to buy a place, and in the UK, obviously, you pay the stamp duty cost, and then we got all the deposits, everything's all good, and then I realized, oh snap, we still need like a few more grand to actually put to pay for stamp duty, and that was on my mind because I was thinking, oh man, how am I gonna get this? And I started worrying and like feeling anxiety about this thing because I'm like, we've made an offer for this place without even having the whole thing. And I'm thinking, how's this gonna look? Like we're putting those guys in a situation as well because they believe we're already gonna buy this place.
Exactly.
So I was feeling so much. And then one day, a very good friend of mine, it just cycled, like it normally cycles to my house just to catch up, just to see how I am. And I was like, oh, that's so good. And it cycled, and we end up we're just talking randomness about life and doing things.
Yeah.
And I realized it's so late and I don't want him to like cycle in the dark. And I was like, actually, I'll take you to your house. And his house is like 45 minutes drive. And I was like, I'll take you to your house. Like, put your bike in, like, you're not cycling.
Was he planning to cycle to his
He
house?
was planning to cycle back to his house. Yeah, this guy cycles to his work every day, like 50 minutes, I think it takes him. I used to say he's insane. But the thing is, we talked so late, and I was like, you know, I'll put your bike in the car, we'll just go. And then that gave us even more room to chat and just talk and then he could see that something was troubling me. And then he asked, like, not like I was making it obvious, like, oh man, it's kind of like the way I respond, do I do things. It could sense something was not how it used to be. And I was like, oh man, what's troubling you?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. And I just opened up and shared. And we just kept on talking and we started talking about random topics. And then we got to his house and it was like, actually, this is the main matter, actually. How much do you need? I was like, wait, what? What do you mean how much do I need? I was like, no, you're not doing any of that. It was like, genuinely, how much do you need? And I told him, it was like, I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Wow.
I was like, yo,
Oh, that's the
like, this is,
solution.
I was like, you don't have to, I was feeling really bad because I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have shared because now I've shared. And then you're trying to take my problem. And no, it was like, I'll send it to you tomorrow. And lo and behold, next day, boom, straight to the account. So I was like, whoa. And he just gifted that to me. It's like, just obviously helped us to secure the place and buy the house. But I was just thinking to myself when we were talking about sharing, I wasn't sharing because I wanted his help, if that makes sense. I was sharing because he had a concern. He was able to see like, oh, what's going on with you, bro? Like, you're not like your normal self. Like, it could see the downcastness and the anxiety was just taken, even though we're having random conversations. So anyway, I think there's a benefit to share because you don't really know where your help could come from. Is what is the point I was trying to make. It's kind of like a long-winded point where I hope people got it because you don't really know where your help is going to come from. And I think as men, kind of like your group, that's because there have been some situations where I've seen men shed, and then there was someone literally in the group that was like, what are you doing? Actually, let's speak tomorrow. I think I may have something for you. Like it's not like you're sharing to get help, but the idea of like, oh man, it's like a shared problem, support,
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a really, really good point, man. And I think I could resonate with that so many when you don't know where because I've been that person where I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to share, but like you said, you could just share that one. You were planning to share that, and you shared that, and then somehow help came, and I think that's what I'm learning as a man now, because that it's okay to share, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to to don't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've been brought up like you must have it, you must have it. Sometimes we don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
And I think the mistakes men make, out there is just trying to be macho men.
Yeah.
When you don't have to,
Yeah.
you still have to be responsible and be strong, but it's also okay to share with your other friend or men around you and say, bro or God, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And like you're not sharing for them to solve the problem. You're just sharing like just to to have a different perspective or opinion
Yeah.
for what
Yeah.
they're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a really great point. Yeah.
Indeed. So I was actually looking at some statistics on mental health,
Yeah.
and I saw some stats from Priority Group. It was talking about 75 to 80% of registered suicide deaths have been men, mostly.
Wow.
75%.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's a crazy number when it comes to suicide deaths that have been, mostly registered for just men.
Wow.
So would you say silence is one of the major causes of these sort of things? Because when you suppress a lot of these life issues, for instance, the stats also talks about work-related pressure, family pressure as causative effects or things that cause those sort of depression and all of that, those mental issues. So would you say silence, bottling these things up, have actually been one of the real causes? I'm just going to give one example
Yeah.
of something I went through, and it could have been something even bigger. So I started a job about 6 years ago, and it was a very high pressure job. I remember I would go on walks before I start work, like on that day,
Wow.
because I just needed to prepare my mind for what I was going to go through that day. It was always pressure. What's going to be the next thing? Oh my God, what am I going to face today? What's it going to be? And I was dropping my daughter at school, and we had this brother from church as well. He's now a pastor in the church, but at the time he was like an elder in the church as well. So I just needed to speak to someone because it was too much pressure.
Yeah.
And that day I was going to be selling a service. So I was doing everything from designing the service to pre-sales. So I was going for my first pre-sale engagement, which means if I get this through the door, these people are actually going to pay money for the service after I had designed the service. So I spoke to him. This is what I want to do today. I'm feeling very anxious. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Just said, okay, that's okay, bro. I will pray for you. It's okay. Just take it easy. You will do well. That reassurance did something to me.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I'm like, maybe this guy is seeing something in me that I don't see in myself.
Yeah.
And I remember going back, and in the evening, which was something very, very, very memorable for me, he reached out in the evening. Oh, bro, how did that
Wow.
pitch go? Hope it
Followed
went
up.
well. He
Yeah.
followed up. So many times where I think most men face mental issues is even when they share, do people even care? Do they feel like people
Do they follow
actually
back as well?
care? Do they connect with you? It's one thing for someone to just listen and okay, all right, bye.
Yeah.
And it's another thing for someone to text or message you or call you later. Oh, bro, how are you now? Are you okay?
Wow.
That thing really did something to my mind, and I tried to imbibe it in relationships with people.
Yeah.
Once you share something with me, I try to follow up.
Yeah.
Even I know everyone is busy, but it's always beneficial to just check up on somebody.
Yeah. And I'll definitely second that as well. You definitely do that, which is good. It's something I'm like, I've gotten so used to now. I look out for it now. If this guy I was like, man, this guy, do you really even care about me? But no, I think you hit on something really important there, man. That start is crazy. And do you know what? I don't think as you were talking, I was thinking in my head, I don't think we were designed to live in isolation. I think isolation is a huge killer. And I think I've said this before in the previous podcast we've done. If whatever is in here is not coming out, it becomes a Netflix series. And you spiral on and on and on and on. You're losing sleeps, you're losing patience. Like it just goes on and on and on unto the points where you start hearing voices. Like you start talking to yourself and you start putting yourself down, like, oh, look at what you just done. Like that's rubbish. Like that shit don't have worked. And like and it's also important. There's another thing I thought about. There's a reason why our highs is to look forward and not to ourselves. Like we can see other things, but we cannot see ourselves.
That's it.
You know, we can't see how we position ourselves, what our body movement is like, our body position and all of those other things. We need other people to be able to call out to say, oh man, I see you were doing this, but I think you could do it this way. It would be good. Like, even think about this. England is playing today. Yeah? I'm sure we're going to be saying, pass the ball to Jude Bellingham. What you do? What you do?
Yeah,
because we can see. We have the whole view. We're like, oh man, you should have passed that ball.
Yeah.
But in that moment for those people, they don't have that. And it's different when it's you're in the position and then someone else is looking at you saying, yo, you should have passed that ball, man. But as you see what I'm trying to say, I think it's important that we are able to seek not just any old feedback, constructive feedback, true feedback. And the only way you can get that is if you build that kind of relationship with people where you feel so confident to talk to and vulnerable in a way and being humble as well, because we don't know everything and we can't really act like we do. Men, look, we don't know everything. Like we can't, and we always act like that, which obviously is not really good. Like,
wow. I think you guys share so amazing. You know, for me, I think listening to that start, that just was scary. I think, and I think that was me at the start of the year, where late last year there was a lot of eyes where I just bought a house, we're moving to a new place, and in the start of the year, just things like started going downhill. I lost my dad in February, and I was in that place where I don't know. I got 4 kids. I'm the only one working, and my lovely wife, she's doing her best to manage the house, taking care of the kids. Doing doing such a great job. Managing all our kids. But I was just in a place where I was just like, this is a lot. As for a man, like I have to be be responsible. For literally 5 people. I can't, I just seeing the, I think losing my dad, I didn't understand, that it was going to affect me that much because I wasn't so close to him, but it did affect me. And I was in that silent mode where I didn't want to do anything, just went to be in bed. But, lucky for me, I have, people like you guys just to be able to talk to, and, you guys came to my house to encourage me. And
we ended up eating food and playing FIFA.
We ended up eating food and playing FIFA.
Yeah, that's quite memorable.
Yeah. That was the first time Shegu beat him, by the way, on FIFA.
Oh yeah, I didn't beat you. Sorry, I didn't beat you. Just for the record.
That was the only time. And
no. Just for the record. No. Forget it. We'll go again. Don't worry. Sorry, go on.
So I think for me as a man going through those times, I'm like, I could imagine what other people that didn't have that in their life. So a lot of people won't say nothing, they just go through it. And you understand, now I understand that start, where they're going through that. Because at that time, I was going through everything in my head. I was like, this is a lot, this is too much. I can't, this is, I just, I'm going to afford the mortgage, what if something happens to me now? What's going to happen to my kids? What's going to happen to my wife? I end up doing a lot of insurance, paying a lot of money to insure myself. But just seeing like, as a man, just imagine, if I didn't have that in my life, and like it'd be so easy to go downhill.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to like, there'll be because the thought came to like, what, if you weren't here, it's all right, and but thank God I have, people in my life, and looking at, people showing me God's word, and He helped me to come out of that trenches, come out of that deep hole that I was
Yes,
finding
yeah.
myself. So
Yeah.
so that started just I resonate with it a lot. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, bro.
Thanks for
I
sharing that.
think,
That's really deep.
yeah.
Uh,
It does make me even think as well, like many of the times, like some people may not have men to speak to
Yeah.
around them that are really good friends, or like, and sometimes it can be quite awkward. Some people go out and
Yeah.
you're like introverts, you don't want to be the one to talk, and then the
Yeah.
other person don't want to be the one to
Yeah.
talk,
Yeah.
and then you're locked in this like introvertedness. I don't even know if that's a word.
Yeah.
but many of the times we do have wives in
Yeah.
our
Mhm.
homes,
Yeah.
and that's gonna lead to one of the questions I was gonna ask. Like, do we find it easier to speak to our wives and share, obviously, kind of like the struggles we're going through? Like, do we think men find that easier? Like, would you find it easier to like have spoken to your wife?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, obviously she's she's my wife. I got she's my other half. She's my better half. That's the one person that understands me. Like, like we can go through it. The no part is, as a man, you want to be, you want to be strong.
Yeah.
You want to be like, you want to always have everything, have a solution to every problem. For your wife, you don't want to see your wife see you, because you want her to,
Right.
she relies on you in a way, like,
Yeah, I
for
see
you
that.
for you to be strong. So you don't want to. She's also going through our stuff, and you're like,
True.
oh, if I put this on her, she might be, how is she going to be able to take it?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the no part comes in, where as which is something that's what we do as men. Like, I gotta be strong. I gotta show up every single time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, my wife I've learned actually. She will say to me, "It don't matter. Let's just talk about it. Let's just we like, if you don't tell me, I won't understand. How can I help
Yeah,
you?
that's a good one.
If you keep it to yourself. So I'm learning as I go in my marriage and my relationship, that it's no matter how heavy it is, so sometimes it's okay to talk about it. She may not have the problem, but she can listen.
The answers, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the answers. Yeah, she can listen. So
Yeah. For me, most, I mean, before I share with any other person, I would have shared with my wife.
Yeah.
And in most situations, she would always, not in most situations, in all situations, she would listen, but there is a value that sharing with other men also bring.
yeah.
So, like with women, there are things you share with them and they would have perspective on, or they would be able, obviously, men are very linear in the way we see things, but women think out of the box a lot.
Yeah.
But there are things you share with other men based on the perspective that they have on those matters, because some of them have gone through something similar.
Yeah.
So it's easier to, speak to someone who has been through something that you are just going through. There are men who had issues with public speaking. You're sharing how you feel with that person.
Yeah.
It's easier for that person to connect with you because they've been there before.
Yeah.
They've experienced that. They know how to, walk to reduce the butterflies in the tummy, how to control that, not to reduce it, but to control it.
Yeah.
But your wife she sees something in you, she will spoil you in a different way. Like, do you know who you are? You are Odion, you are there, you're really great at this. Yes, she does that for you, but when you stand on that stage, bro, you might even forget those hailings.
Yeah,
It's now, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
So it's easier to speak with people or men who have gone through those things. But sharing with your wives obviously has its own benefit, no doubt.
Yeah.
But sharing with other men is also very, very important, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I agree with what you guys just said too, because I mean, there's obviously, it goes back to that thing, it's about wisdom,
Yeah.
right? Knowing the kind of things to share. Like, if there are decisions to make, my wife is involved. If it's going to affect our family, what about like anything that's going to affect our family, she's involved. if I'm going through struggles at work, I'll explain. And mate, some of the perspectives that comes from my wife, bro, I needed those perspectives because I couldn't see that way. I was like, oh snap, oh wow. So there are those instances where I think we should leverage the fact that we've got wives who are caring, especially wives who are caring, we're nurturing, we're able to know how to help spur you on, like what you're saying. Because as men, we need to feel that thing. I think one of you mentioned ego, but when my wife spur me up, I'm like,
I
yo,
can face anything now.
bro,
Where's the lion?
I could eat a lion. But no, I get the points though. Do you know another thing as well? Do we need people to talk to in order to help us, like, or to really help get things out? Because I'll tell you the reason why I say that, right? In programming, there's this concept called rubber duck programming, right? So where someone is, there's no other person to bounce ideas off. They're writing code, but there's a rubber duck on the side of the desk. But what they would do is that they would try describing this, like what they've done to the duck and why they did it, and then they realize, oh snap, that is so wrong, I shouldn't have done that, and then boom, they go back and recorrect it. Not like this duck is responding to them, but they sort of like have like
almost like
the fact that you're just taking it out,
introspective thoughts.
Because some people think about it, but sometimes it's different when it's coming out your mouth. You're like, whoa, that did not come out right, and then you're able to like go and retrospectively do what you need to do.
Well, we do. Going back to we have this thing. I think it's great because we have this thing like we started. Like started. I think you both actually started playing table tennis, and you started with just playing table tennis and going to the sauna, and just going home. And now, we play. We've changed into playing pickleball.
Yeah,
for those who don't know about pickleball, Google it or put on YouTube. Is the best spot currently. But I think for some people, listening to other people share, like what we now do at the sauna, for example, we have an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, the sauna is a therapy session.
It's
so a therapy session for the men.
When you have people like just people that won't share in the normal sense or talk, but now in that setting where like they can share, with other men, like, or just listen. And I think it's helped me. Number one, it's helped so many people, because now the group is grown so much, and I think that's part of it as well. So I think having that, like just having people like men, like that, obviously not so much deep stuff, but just, how's your week going? How's your day going? And we talk about it, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is good. And I think it's So to answer your question, yes, I think having. Obviously we should talk about your wife and everything, but also like, in that kind of forum, having like, that kind of forum, maybe you have like 3, 4, 5, 6 people and sharing stuff. People have all share different opinion or going. You can open doors to people that don't like to share. Maybe just just want to listen. So yeah.
Okay, I think you answered the question very well.
I did.
So I think it's time for us to start closing the curtains. So I would like us to quickly share what do we think we need to do as men to cope in this world that we're in. Just a few seconds. Maybe 2 points each.
Yeah. I think having the right people in your life, having that onion layers, like I said, where you have people that you can talk to, but also doing stuff like, as just as wives need to do stuff, but as men, we need to do stuff to what's what I'm looking for, to relax, or what's what I'm to
reduce your stress.
To pipe down, or just to detox or something. Having that couple of hours just to have people, maybe just play a sport, go to the gym. I go for a run. Just to have that in your life where you can cope with this, because there's a lot of, for me, I can speak for myself. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of for going to work and just life in general. But like my pickleball time is like, it makes me forget about my life for that 2 hours. I don't remember. I just focus, and I enjoy that, and it helps me a lot. So to cope in this world that we live in, I think having that niche, that's something that you enjoy doing, or something like a sport that you, or having people you play games, go out for a run. If it's traveling, you want to do that just to, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that as well. I think that's so true because the pickleball thing started with it was just two of us that started the group, but now he joined, and now I think I checked the other day, there's like 26 men.
Wow.
Like many of them are like fathers, like only a few percentage are like not married, and because they see us, they're like, oh my goodness, I want to get married now. We have a friend that's like, I want to get married now. I want to have kids.
By the way,
I want to have kids, and we're going to his wedding in Italy. Let's go.
Yeah.
But the key thing is that point. Like, why did our group grew from like 3 men to 26 men? Right? It shows the thing that I said before. I don't think we're made to live in isolation. I think many of the times it's quite hard for people who are introverted. I mean, what I would say to you is, as a man, if you're introverted, like look out for help books out there, books that can help you to really see ways of which you can come out of there. Because there are loads of other people who are like you, and they just want to connect, and they just want to just really have someone around them that they can really go to for advice and just share lives around, like live lives together, really. So yeah, that's the one thing I have to say. Like, find those people. Life is not meant to be lived on your own. Yeah, there are loads of people out there that will want to be friends with you. You're not too bad to be friends with people. or to play pickleball as well. Like, yeah. So
true. Yeah, good points. For me, it's very similar, but I would like to add that it's nice to listen to people and actually care about people, because again, it's like a mirror. When you do something nice for someone else would also do something nice for you. So always try to check up on people. When someone shares something with you, make it a point of duty to check up on the person.
Yeah.
So we've had a really nice discussion today.
I think it was good.
And we hope to see you on the next episode.
Yes, let's go.
So like, share, and
subscribe. Let's talk Unscripted.
See you on the next one.
Let's go. Well done, boys.
Thank you.
Next one.
Great job, boys.